If there are four, Morocco will kick off the games with Argentina in just about under 2 hours from now. Beyond that, the females, the Super Falcons of Nigeria, will be in action tomorrow, and it promises to be thrilling against their counterparts from Brazil. We still have plenty of Olympic news for you, but like we mentioned, the opening ceremony is on Friday, but under 48 hours that will be. But the games have started already with the football event. We'll bring you some more.
Telling him not to counterpunch.
From the line across the ocean to the land beyond the mountains, through the Sahara, we bring on sport news, live analysis, expert discussions on trending stories in politics, business, socio-economy, sports, and documentaries. So catch all the updates on the happenings around the globe. Stay focused on the fact today, only on ATN.
Every day our lives are changed by history.
We are one people, all of us.
Leaders, politics,
Nobody's ambition is what the blood.
I have fought very firmly.
natural occurrence, war, and the world economy.
I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody.
ATN covers it all on ATN Politics today.
Up and down like this now.
I hope nobody carry belle.
Why you ask? Oh,
Because this road where they see so, it no guarantee safe delivery.
We just dey vote for government. But
quell everything.
Welcome back. Sports Talk here on the Lati Television Network. Our focus definitely is on the Olympic Games. It's the biggest football festival, sports festival around the world. And I can tell you, it is getting up at feverish speed because with 48 hours to the opening ceremony, the football event has already started, and it's really, really heartwarming. Every 4 years event, and so when it comes like this, it is
what the draws, of course, will say at the end of the day.
Talking about football, the table tennis event at the Olympic Games, we understand a total of 172 players will be in action across 5 medals events. 86 of this number of players, or 172, will be in the men's category, while another 86 will be competing in the women's category. There are 5 medal events. Kingsley, do you see Nigeria coming up at least to the podium in the tennis?
Yes, of course. We should see, because our last outing in Tokyo Olympic was very abysmal. None of our table tennis players were able to get to the podium. It was very disappointing. And I think this time around, Aruna Quadri, he knows what it means for him.
5 times appearance?
5 times appearance, yes. I think the highest Aruna has gone is the quarterfinal stage. I think that was in Rio 2016.
Right.
And then Umar Asa, of course, he was able to get that to that stage. I think that was at the last Olympic Games, and he'll be looking forward probably to surpass that particular record. And for me, actually, it's going to be a very huge one. I don't think also that Aruna Quadri will also want to let this one slide. He'll also want to push probably to surpass that record. So it's going to be a very, very interesting, outing down there at the table tennis event at the Olympic Games.
Talking about table tennis event reminds me of Shinaike, Funke Shinaike. That's a very big name, one of the biggest names you can find in world table tennis. She's Nigerian, and she's expected to be canvassing for votes ahead of the International Olympic Committee Athletes Commission election to be conducted during this Olympic Games. 50 years of age, 5-time Olympian, deserving to be on the seat of the highest table tennis decision-making body.
It will be a nice one if she actually get this one. I think for me, if we have one for one of our own down there, it will be a very huge one, of course.
Sit on the Olympic Commission, that's really, really big.
That will be a very big one as well. It will also at least maybe help, of course, table tennis down here in Nigeria. Remember, there's a lot of course we have to do when it has to do with table tennis, of course, in the country, even at the global stage. So I will just look forward to see her getting this one. I think that will mean a whole lot for Nigeria as a country.
Talking about Funke Oshinake wanting to represent athletes on the International Olympic Committee. This is really, really big, and she gets it, it will fine. Hoping that retiring after this one, we hope it will have his good swan song at the Olympic Games. Expected to be part of the singles and the doubles at the Olympic Games. Well, we're now from the Olympics, and let's look at football. And talking about football reminds me that this off-season, both here in Nigeria and across Europe, and players and coaches are moving. Ex-Aqua United and Sporting Lagos assistant Edward Green has joined Rivers United as the club assistant coach. Kingsley, movements here and there?
Yeah, movements here and there, and I think for me is another addition for Rivers United after getting the likes of...
UEFA D license?
Yeah. The man is a little bit experienced. He was there at Aqua United and assistant, and also at Sporting Lagos. A lot, of course, is actually at stake down there. We understand, when it has to do with football management, a lot is actually at stake. Funds, and all of that. Transparency is needed. So when the management are not doing very well, possibly, of course, such thing, of course, could happen. We understand what's happening to the likes of Sunshine Stars.
We're just back to the Premier League.
Just back to the Premier League, and we should be expecting to see formidable, management for them. And from what we've seen, maybe they're trying to make sure that they get themselves well in shape. For Sunshine Stars as well, last season wasn't really a rosy one for them. If not for the help of Kenneth Beboye, they would have probably gone down in a relegation zone. So for me, I think they are trying to make sure that they put themselves in shape ahead of the coming season.
Not only players and coaches, let's quickly go across to Europe now, and we understand that one of the rival teams in France has now been relegated to the third tier after withdrawing the League One side. Bordeaux said they will play in the third tier next season after withdrawing the appeal against relegation for financial offence. This is crucial. Bordeaux, who won the last of the 6 first division titles way back in 2009, was sanctioned by the financial watchdog for what they call 40 million euros, about 43.6 million pounds, so to say, in the bid to balancing their books.
Yeah, balancing books. Of course, we know how it was. Last season, so many teams, actually fell victim, of that. Especially, you have to be very transparent when it has to do with financial fair play.
You can't spend more than you earn.
Can't spend more than you earn, as it is. And I think some clubs also had, sort issues, last time. I think Leicester City in the Premier League also had a little bit of that. Even Everton, for Bordeaux, I think it's really very, very unfortunate that they will be playing in the second tier at this point in time. They're take a look at their history in the French League. They have a little bit of a rich history, but it's a disappointing one. But it's what it is. Even the best, we've seen them be relegated. So we'll hope maybe they get themselves in shape proper and see how to bounce back to the League On.
Talking about football in Europe reminds me that Pep Guardiola, as his sister Kevin Brennan, would not be leaving Manchester City across to the Saudi League. But everything in the last few days points to the fact that the Belgian star wants to go to Saudi.
Yeah, for me, I think Pep wants to see at least having one more time, or at least one more season. I think he still has a 1-year contract left at Manchester City, and Pep Guardiola, of course, don't want to let him go. At this, but maybe after he can think of going down to Etihad. For De Bruyne, I think he's of age at this point in time, over 30 been over 33 years, 32 years now. So he's done a lot. He's won everything you could think of, apart from maybe having more of national titles. He's won the FIFA Club World Cup title. He's won the Champions League. He's won the Premier League. A whole lot. He's won so many titles. So for me, I think what is left for him now, 32 years of age, is to just go maybe to Saudi and make a lot of money. I think that's what players who goes down there to
Saudi Arabia, being an attraction to most players now. Man City looks like a
1-year contract, elapsed at Manchester City. For Ederson as well, I think he's done a whole lot for Manchester City. He's been very instrumental for the successes we've seen for Manchester City.
He has won 6 Premier League titles with Manchester City.
Yeah, that's a very huge record, for the man. So I think he's achieved a lot for himself. What he needs now is to go down there and earn money. Teams in the Saudi Arabian League offer you huge, jumbo sum. And for me, the players have just been attracted down there because of the money. I think one of our own, talking about Ojon Jijigalu, says players who go to Saudi, of course, play just because of the money. And I think money is the high point at this moment. Making a lot of money for yourself before you retire is what, of course, some of the players are aiming at. And I think the likes of Kevin De Bruyne might be going there soon. Even Ederson as well, who might also take that same direction. This summer, Manchester United lost their first warm-up, losing their first warm-up game. I think Chelsea were able to get a win in their first warm-up game. So I think they're just trying to make sure that they get themselves in shape. Warm-up games do not really or necessarily, tell what the season might look like for a team. It's just to make sure that some of the players, of course, get in shape and look forward to get themselves ready. So for City, no cause for alarm for me, despite the loss yesterday.
Well, Manchester City lost to Celtic 4-3 in a game, and we saw goalkeeper Ederson, Kevin De Bruyne, and of course Kevin Phillips, another player of the team that we understand wants to leave as well. He didn't have playing time so much last season because of injury, but he's back now. He had some playing time last night against Celtic. He too wants to leave Manchester City.
Well, according to reports we got to yesterday,